Right, morning everybody. Welcome back to one of our stay-at-home safaris. We've had some very interesting weather over the past couple of days. Pouring rain yesterday morning, glorious sunshine yesterday afternoon, and now a misty morning today. So it's been pretty interesting. We're going to be heading out and trying to follow up on those lions from last night, see what they got up to and what else the nature's got to throw at us. So this is a white-backed vulture, the same species that we saw feeding on that kudu carcass, or the majority of them anyway. Early morning, very misty, so there's no thermals. This is not necessarily indicative of a kill, it's just one or two of them sitting on their own. They also actually have a nest not far from here, so it's probably one of the nesting adults waiting for it to warm up and get active and catch the thermals to start looking for food. So these are the three southern ground hornbills that have been seen fairly regularly in the area over the last couple of weeks. Pretty skittish of the vehicles though, we can't get very close to them, but we've just heard them vocalizing, which is quite a good sign. Three adults. They're quite vulnerable, and their numbers in southern Africa are plummeting for various reasons, from poisoning outside the national parks to a very slow breeding rate. So quite nice to see them on our concession. So that was pretty cool. We following the ground hornbills, and they've pretty much led us straight to the Mungane Pride. Looks like the male has joined them, so we'll head over there and take a look. Right, so it's pretty amazing that the pride hasn't moved at all. They are in exactly the same position we left them last night, so it's quite a good thing we didn't wait for them to get up and start hunting again. We would have waited quite a long time. Also interesting that the Ottawa male has joined them through the night. Obviously the vocalizing we heard last night pinpointed their position pretty accurately to him, and he's come in a pretty straight line straight to where they were and are. They had pretty full bellies last night, so clearly he wasn't in a massive rush to go hunting, and just spent the time resting up, and it'll be interesting to see when they do start moving again and decide to start hunting, whether it'll be later this morning, it's still pretty cool, or if they'll wait up until this evening. They're right out in the open, so if it does warm up, they'll probably get up and move a little bit into the shade. But for now, pretty content to just catch up on some sleep. So the youngest female tried without any joy to get some life out of the adults, and she's just left the pride temporarily and gone down towards the drainage line, potentially to look for some water. It's quite a steep gully there, we can't get down to where she's gone, but it has attracted the attention of the adults now that she's left. Well, this is kind of what we were hoping for. The movement of the young cub, or the younger lion in the gully, has attracted the attention of the adults. And the inquisitiveness got the better of them. They're coming down to the drainage line to see what's up. Right, it seems they've gone across this very steep gully onto the other side of the drainage line, where it looks like they've had a quick drink at one of the ephemeral pools. Unfortunately, we can't cross this drainage line anywhere close by here, and it looks like they're settling down, so we're going to continue the morning drive and let them be. So fortunately for us, while we were sitting with the Mangan pride this morning, Derek and Kevin managed to locate the Ottawa pride. They've just come back onto our concession. Haven't seen them for quite a while now, so good to see them again. Doesn't seem like the Matimba male is with them. He's apparently not looking so good, so it would have been good to see him, and a bit concerning that he's not with them either, because he's needing them to provide some meals for him. They're looking pretty hungry as well. All three of the adults that we've seen stand up have got fairly empty bellies. So you can see that the clouds are slowly starting to burn off, the overcast conditions from this morning. It's pretty humid. Pretty sure it'll warm up quite significantly in the next few hours. So these lions look pretty settled, doing what lions do best. We'll hopefully get to see them in the next few days. Hopefully they stay on the concession now and we can follow them over the next couple of days, and hopefully get to see them active. Good afternoon everybody, welcome on the afternoon safari. We were actually dashing north. We had reports that the Sand River has come down quite nicely. I wanted to go and have a look at that and show you guys, and we bumped into this little journey of Giraffe with a couple of youngsters. The one youngster is actually lying down, which is pretty unusual for Giraffe. They generally sleep standing up, so not that uncommon for the youngsters while the adults are feeding. But quite nice to see them lying down. This is an alarm call that she's making. Giraffe are generally silent, but when they have some distress call, they blow. I'm not sure if she's seeing anything. See both the youngsters huddled together, got behind Mom and got up. Very risky for Giraffe to be lying down if there's danger around. We haven't found anything, but they're still quite nervous. Well, they definitely are still very alert, very weary. We haven't been able to find what's upset them. I'm not sure if it's a false alarm or if we're just missing whatever it is. But they're still very much alert. We'll do one more loop in the area, but probably continue on towards the river. Nice to see them so alert though. Right, so this is the Sand River, as we mentioned. Definitely has come down quite a bit today. It usually takes the water about a day to get down to us from the catchment area, where usually the heaviest of the rain falls up on the escarpment. So we had at Savanna we had 27 millimeters in total. Not sure what they got up on the escarpment, but significantly more, and it's taken a day for the water to get down to us. But really nice to see the river so full. At this time of the year, getting towards the middle and end of April, should give good supply for the river for the remainder of the dry season. Right, so we come around now to the area that a lot of you will recognise. It's called New Causeway. The river has come up significantly to the extent that we can't really cross over here, and looking really good. So quite a nice rain cloud, storm cloud building up there in the south. It's going to be interesting to see if that develops into anything later on this evening. Right, for a quick update on yesterday's question from Greg as to what the collective noun for the wildebeest is. It's an implausibility of wildebeest. It's pretty implausible for them to be in this kind of vegetation. They're supposed to be in the clearing, but there you go. Alright, so unfortunately so far today we haven't been able to find any leopards, so we've decided to come back to the Ottawa Pride. Haven't seen them much in the last few days, so still pretty warm, haven't moved too much, still pretty static. We'll spend a bit of time with them and just see if they decide to get active for us before it gets too dark. while we were sitting with Ottawa Pride, they were still pretty much fast asleep. Got the call from Derek and one of the other guys that they'd found a cheetah down here in the clearings. So obviously we packed up our bags and flew down here as quickly as possible. Just getting active in the last light of the day. Hopefully we'll see him on the move a little bit. This looks like the younger male that we see here occasionally of late. Not the big territorial male that we've seen over the last couple of years. So this is classic cheetah territory. They love the big open spaces. And hopefully we parked up next to a termite mound here. They quite often use the termite mounds as vantage points. There are some impala down on the other side of the clearing. But I think they might be aware that he's in the area. But let's hope he comes up onto the termite mound here. So he has got on top of the termite mound as expected, but unfortunately the impalas are also on a termite mound behind him and have spotted him, giving the alarm call every now and then. The cheetah is quite aware of some sounds behind him, and it looks like there might be a herd of elephants coming out onto the clearing behind him. So he won't be particularly concerned with a herd of elephants unless they approach too closely. So he's just keeping a good eye on them. If they just move past him in the tree line, he'll be fine. Alright, so he decided not to have a go and settled back down on the termite mound. Light's pretty much gone now. We can't shine on the cheetah same as the wild dogs, so getting a little bit stormy this evening. Hopefully we'll get a nice downpour tonight, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. Stay safe, stay at home, and see you tomorrow.